I want to touch on something that I know that everybody understands is probably the most important thing that you could possibly do on a daily basis, and that's constantly finding yourself going back to that first love experience, constantly finding yourself engaging with the spirit of the fear of the Lord. And I want to say this because the spirit of the fear of the Lord brings you to a place of awe and worship. It takes you back to that remembrance of your very first experience with Yeshua, when you gave your life to Him and you surrendered all to Him, that born from above experience where everything in you changed and all of a sudden you were in love with Yahweh. All of a sudden you just wanted to pray and seek Him and go to church and just be around people that has the same revelation and same understanding. Study His Word, seek His face, worship, glorify, magnify Him. You were in this place. And then as we grow older, we kind of become more mature and we kind of step away from that. But it's almost like the Father wants you to constantly spark that flame, constantly go back in that intimacy, into that time where you sit with Him and engage with Him and love on Him and worship Him. See, the spirit of fear of the Lord reminds you of who Yahweh is. He takes you into a deep place constantly, consistently, continuously, and reminds you of the beauty and the glory and the fire and the love that the Father has for you, and the authority that you carry and who you are in Him, and the glory that comes with a son that worships. Stepping in to that place where you're in the Spirit, in the truth, in the full measure of who Yeshua is, where you sit in the Yod Hey Vav Hey continuously, consistently, just baking in Him, just basking in His glory, basking in His fire, and allowing Him to pour His frequency onto you and over you, and pour the light of who He is into you and the fire of who He is. Fire always represents revelation, and that's the Father's desire for His sons. He says, my people die because of a lack of knowledge. And as we are really sparked into that place of first love, that love that we need to have for Him, it also ignites a desire to walk in a deeper place of the revelation, going deeper, wider, higher in your perception, in your belief, in your understanding, in knowledge, just engaging with Him and sitting with wisdom, engaging the Father and sitting in the fullness of the Yod Hey Vav Hey, and allowing each one of those attributes of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit to overshadow you, to ignite you, to pull you in, to take you deeper, to walk and engage with the 24 living letters, to sit with the Ga, to sit with Shin Kado, to step into the Aleph and the Taf, and to allow those dimensions of the Word of Yahweh to pour into you as gates of fire, to pull you in and teach you everything you need to know about your Father, and always takes you back to your first love, always takes you back to that spark, the Achida in you that burns for the love of the Father, burns for the intensity and the intimacy with Yahweh. It's the Father's desire for us to go back to that place where we always and continuously in love with Him. That's why He says, eat of me, drink of me, in remembrance of me.